7 Stoic teachings to transform your body and your existence. When a man does not know his destiny, no wind is favorable to him. Seneca. Your present situation is largely the result of the choices you have made in the past. According to a study, the primary cause of mortality lies in our decisions. After overcoming infectious diseases and infant mortality, most deaths are attributed to lifestyle-related diseases. We often seek quick solutions in pills, supplements, or the latest products from teleshopping. But these shortcuts are ineffective. The real solution lies in making wiser decisions. But before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give it a like. This way, you'll be greatly helping me continue to produce more content like this. Now let's continue. When your choices improve, so does your body and your life. Many poor decisions are made due to lack of information. We are bombarded with misinformation about the dangers of eggs, fats, or animal proteins, while the supposed benefits of cereals, skimmed milk, and light products are highlighted. People often believe that healthy food is exclusively found in the diet section of the supermarket. Despite the misinformation around us, we all know that exercising is more beneficial than spending the day on the couch, and that an apple is healthier than a pizza. In general, we know the actions that would improve our health. The question is, why don't we follow through? The classical philosophers had a term for this paradox, akrasia, which could be translated as acting against our own interests, against our own reason. They questioned the origin of impulses that lead us to make wrong decisions. Today we know that these impulses result from millions of years of evolution. All our automatic behaviors made sense in the environment in which we evolved, as they maximized our chances of survival and reproduction. However, in the modern world, these same impulses can be destructive, especially when the industry uses them to sell addictive products and appeal to our convenience. For classical philosophers, the opposite of akrasia was enkrateia, or self-control. Improving your enkrateia is the key to achieving the body you desire and optimizing your health. Of course, not all philosophers shared the same opinion on how to handle our impulses. There were two extremes. Asceticism. Ascetics renounce all pleasure, assuming that any sensory enjoyment is harmful and that internal life is the only one worthwhile, considering all physiological impulses as inferior. Hedonism. Hedonists believe that the best way to avoid temptation is by indulging in it repeatedly, seeking to maximize sensory pleasure regardless of the consequences. In modern society, few adopt a personal philosophy and therefore adhere to the official one, which some call enlightened hedonism. Enlightened because it incorporates some reasoning. There are social controls and norms that restrict basic impulses. But ultimately it is hedonistic, as the ultimate goal seems to be seeking comfort and sensory stimulation. As a result, we succumb to processed food, trashy television, football, the couch, constant leisure, and excessive consumption of unnecessary items. If I told you that changing your life philosophy could be beneficial, you would probably hesitate. After all, the philosophy taught in school is often impractical, focused on theological and metaphysical issues, cosmological arguments and Hegelian dialectics, and is likely to have been of little use to you. But in ancient Greece, there were philosophical schools that went beyond intellectual exercises. Their main goal was to teach how to live, instruct on how to make wiser decisions. Of all of them, my favorite is Stoicism. The Stoics were truly the first psychologists. Many modern psychological tools, such as cognitive behavioral therapies, have their roots in Stoic thought. In fact, Stoicism itself possesses recognized therapeutic power. But don't worry, this article won't be a treatise on philosophy. I will limit myself to summarizing some central ideas of Stoicism and how you can apply them to improve self-control and, consequently, your health and life. Lesson 1. Align your life with nature. A happy life is one lived in accordance with nature. Seneca. Unbeknownst to them, the Stoics were pioneers in adopting the paleo lifestyle. For them, nature had multiple meanings. They understood that humans are designed to thrive in a specific environment and that many social influences lead us away from that environment. They despised excess luxury and comfort. They emphasized the social nature of human beings, encouraging the development of social connections and participation in games. Unlike ascetics, the Stoics actively participated in society, with the mission of helping their fellow citizens. Nowadays, science supports these ideas. We know that many civilization diseases result from discrepancies between the environment our DNA expects and the one provided by the modern world. Problems like obesity, diabetes, myopia, cavities, hypertension, or autoimmune diseases are rare in hunter-gatherer societies. The increase in rates of depression and anxiety is also attributed to the zoo-like environment we live in. Playing, connecting with a social group, spending more time in nature, and engaging in physical activity surpass antidepressants in effectiveness. Lesson 2. Discern what is in your hands and what is not. There are 3 types of events: those not under our control, those partially under our control, and those completely under our control. Worrying about things we cannot change is futile. This consumes time and energy that could be used to influence what is truly in our hands. For example, if you plan to play a tennis match, you cannot control the rain, which could affect the game. Winning the match is also not entirely under your control, although you can influence the outcome. The only thing truly under your control is training to improve and giving your best during the match. That should be your focus. Therefore, when setting goals, it is crucial to differentiate between outcome goals and behavior goals. This approach is similar to the revolutionary plan. Outcome goals depend partially on you, such as reaching a specific fat percentage, while behavior goals are entirely under your control. For example, training 4 times a week and eliminating processed foods. Perhaps your genes or hormonal factors make it difficult for you to achieve your desired outcome. Maybe you're an endomorph, but your genes do not prevent you from taking the necessary actions, behavior. This is where enkrateia, self-control, comes into play. We often make excuses for our circumstances but do not take responsibility for our decisions. Lesson 3. Embrace voluntary discomfort. A gem is not polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Seneca. The Stoics warned against the constant pursuit of comfort, which already affected ancient Roman society. It not only weakens the body, but also the mind. Seneca suggested dedicating several days a month to dressing in simple clothes, eating moderately, facing the elements, and then asking yourself, "Is this what I feared so much?" You will realize that you are much stronger than you thought. You will gain control over yourself. Although they did not know the modern concept of hormesis, they intuited its benefits. They understood that the body is anti-fragile, that our genes need challenges, and that today's discomfort will translate into rewards tomorrow. Lifting 100 kilograms in deadlift may seem difficult now, but by subjecting yourself to the discomfort of training, it will become easy in a few months. Note: Nassim Taleb, author of Anti-Fragile, also considers himself a self-declared Stoic. In summary, controlled stress benefits us. Training, exposure to cold and heat, fasting, walking barefoot, among others. The Stoics were the first to propose the idea, now scientifically validated, that willpower works like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. The Stoics were known for their courage and self-control. They performed actions that others feared and refrained from those others couldn't resist. They owned their actions. Lesson 4. Disregard others' opinions. The goal of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape the ranks of the insane. Marcus Aurelius. By adopting healthier habits, you will feel the pressure of the group. They will criticize you for not eating like them, not training like them, not thinking like them. Acting differently implies questioning established norms, and the group usually does not welcome questioning. Shame evolved as a means of control. Acting to the detriment of the group caused shame, making us more altruistic. The problem arises when this shame does not benefit the group but harms you. The Stoics knew they had to train themselves not to be influenced by this false shame. The only real shame for them was not living according to their principles, which included helping others. Cato, another prominent Stoic, wore tunics of different colors and ignored fashion. He often walked barefoot. He did not do it to attract attention, but to become accustomed to shame and avoid its pernicious influence. He wanted to feel ashamed only of things that truly deserved it. Dressing, or thinking or eating or training differently was not one of them. Lesson 5. Translate theory into practice. Many are proficient in the classroom but take them to practice and they fail miserably. Epictetus. Many philosophical schools limited themselves to attracting followers and indoctrinating them. Their world was confined to the classroom. The Stoics, on the other hand, were outstanding thinkers but also people of action. Many played prominent roles in society and preached by example. In our context, how many have read books on nutrition and training but have not taken the first step? How many have paid for courses and gym memberships only to quit after a few weeks? Don't settle for being a mere spectator. Move from the stands to the playing field. Start slowly if necessary. Get up, walk, move, control your body, manipulate external objects, increase intensity, learn to cook. You will face obstacles and suffer defeats, maybe an injury. Face problems with stoicism. According to Seneca, every adversity is a new opportunity to practice. Lesson 6. Shape your perspective. Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them. Epictetus. The Stoics emphasize detaching events from their interpretation. We all know individuals who have everything and yet are unhappy, while others have scarcely anything and always maintain a cheerful attitude. You cannot choose what happens in life, but you can choose the response you give. And that response is intrinsically linked to your perspective. The Stoics recommended 3 practices to perfect your perspective: contemplation from above, negative visualization, and focus on the present. Contemplation from above. The practice of contemplation from above seeks to contextualize your problems. Suppose you face the adversity of having stubborn fat. Some may spend sleepless nights, distressed by the lack of defined abs. In such a case, try to elevate yourself and observe your life from an elevated perspective. Contemplate the universe. Reflect on everything happening in the world, daily tragedies. Perhaps that excess fat will no longer seem so significant, right? Negative visualization. Ironically, visualizing negative aspects can help you appreciate what you have instead of lamenting what you lack. Imagine waking up one morning and finding yourself unable to walk. Next to your bed is the wheelchair you should use every day of your life. Reflect on how you would feel. Meditate on how limited your life would be. Now return to reality. You can walk. Your legs respond to your commands, unless you trained legs yesterday. Celebrate, be grateful, enjoy. Gratitude enhances our lives. And if you truly cannot walk, accept it stoically and move on. Your thoughts define your reality. Focus on the present. One of the fundamental purposes of Stoicism is to banish negative feelings from your mind. These feelings hinder the enjoyment of life and prevent you from operating effectively. A negative mind will not generate positive results. The Stoics propose keeping the focus on the now, on the only thing that truly exists. This aligns with Buddhist philosophy and the concept of mindfulness. Remembering negative moments from the past and anticipating possible future problems only causes us suffering. As Seneca said, "He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." The only authentic thing is the present. Your mission is to determine the best action to take now. Do not waste time on the past or worry about the future. Lesson 7. Enjoy the pleasures of life. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius. Don't become an ascetic. Designing your life and making your own decisions does not imply giving up everything pleasurable. The Stoics encouraged savoring the small pleasures of life. They criticized the culinary ostentation of some wealthy families, since even then superfoods were imported from distant lands. But at the same time, they enjoyed their simple foods. Although they subjected their bodies to discomfort, they warned against punishing the body unnecessarily. A Stoic would not overtrain. Discomfort is a means to improvement, not an end. Surely Seneca would approve of a bit of chocolate and an occasional indulgence. The Stoics did not take vows of poverty either. It is paradoxical. By forgetting about wealth and focusing on living with virtue, another crucial concept in Stoicism, and helping others, you are more likely to earn money. Although Seneca accumulated a considerable fortune, that was never his goal. Socrates claimed that an unexamined life is not worth living. The Stoics would add that an unexperienced life would not be worth examining. Examine your life to improve, but don't forget to live it. Farewell. Adopting a life philosophy is not mystical or poetic. It is entirely practical. A philosophy helps you organize your life, reflect on what is truly important and what is not, and determine the direction you should take. The risk of a life without philosophy is reaching the end and realizing that you have wasted it.
Thank you for watching this content. If you enjoyed the video, I invite you to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future content.